Hello there, everyone. It is me, Brandon, and today I am going to do a Magical Sanctum ranking video. And before I do that, I just wanted to say something. So, I checked out the My Singing Monsters ranking videos made by Mr. Zamboni, but so far, he hasn't even made a Magical Sanctum ranking video, so it is my time to shine, and I bet that I will make this video and post it way before him. I'm just saying, alright? I do not hate Mr. Zamboni, alright? I just want to, clear that out, alright? Let's just start now. Ta-da! This is my Singing Monsters Magical Sanctum ranking! And let's talk about Magical Sanctum. So, Magical Sanctum did that build-up thing, just like in Light Island, but it was done better than Light Island. I'm just gonna say that, alright? It's my opinion, alright? And before I truly start, I just want to say that this is my opinion. If you have different opinions, you can tell me about it, alright? I am not gonna claim this as facts. It's because I know that everyone has different views and different opinions, alright? Okay, now I can continue to the topic. Okay, so yes, Magical Sanctum did that build up, and it wasn't bad because it was kind of better than Light Island, I have to say. And the magicals that we started off with, they were actually pretty fairly good. And once we get the quad, which I actually like its design and its concept, it was good addition for a finale magical monster that would end the magical saga forever. Unless they could make another single elemental. I was kind of hoping for a dark elemental, just to complement Flores. But we kind of already have darkness, for Grumpire. I think it's Ghost, Shadow. It's one of those. Alright, let's start with the monsters. And before I go with the monsters, I like to say that I do not hate them, alright? I do not hate these monsters at all. But actually, I really like these monsters. And their designs is pretty done well. And I do still have that theory that these magical hybrid monsters are related to some sort with the single elementals, the naturals, and the ethereals. Which you might can tell Xeaster, Frondly, and so on. Okay, now we can start with the monsters. So, the worst monster, but not really worse because it's in the C category, it is Rorik, yes. I have to put Rorik last place. I am sorry, Rorik. I really like its concept, design, and how it functions, but it just plays pretty little. It's just, okay, I'll say it. It plays too little. It only plays twice. If it, played, the beginning part with Vermind, maybe it would equal up to Ostax. Or equal to Enchantling. I do not have Enchantling in this list. It's because Enchantling hasn't came out yet. So, that's why Enchantling isn't in this tier list, because he hasn't been in this tier list, since I am, using somebody else's tier list for it. So, yeah, it's, for a monster, I'm not going to complain its volume, is because you could do anything with the volume, you can fix the volume, but, it is a pretty loud monster, but I'm not going to put that into my complaint, is because I can just adjust the volume. It just plays too little, and it kind of tries too hard. It's, not the very best, but it's good, alright? I know it's supposed to serve as a finale monster, but it's still in the C. But in C+, the quad himself, Enchantling! Yes, since that none of these monsters are on the bad or worse, and the lowest is good to great, Enchantling is after Rorik. The reason why I say that is because when I heard Magical Sanctum with Enchantling for the first time, I kind of thought he went off. But the last time I checked in Magical Sanctum in my game, which is probably like a week ago, yeah, I was in the hiatus of my seeing monsters, Enchantling kind of went in beat a bit. But it doesn't really change the fact before. So I guess that Enchantling is like second lowest. But I still like Enchantling, alright? And after Enchantling is Ostax, which is actually shown here. A totem pole monster. Something that people fan-made about a singing or playing totem pole monster. And we actually have it right here. I really like it. It can be a bit repetitive, which is catching the flute fly syndrome. Well, honestly, I could put Ostax to the B tier next to Flute Fly, since they are pretty equal to each other, since they both do not play the secret verse, which is sad. At least Flute Fly isn't the only monster that plays alone in the secret verse. Well, not so secret. It would have been less repetitive if it goes like this. Hey, 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 hey. You see what I did there? Or at least you heard what I sang? I would have gave it a second track. It would have had 2 tracks. Right? So technically, Ostax would have actually sounded like this, in my view, if Ostax were to be a little bit better. Hey, 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 hey. It makes it longer, that track, just giving that extra track with that spice. Alright, next is Fruit Fly. And yeah, same thing to Fairy Island. Fruit Fly is pretty repetitive, but at least it plays a slightly original track, better than in Fairy Island, where it kind of plays a Dandy-Doo track, but with a different key. That's all I gotta say. If it plays, by itself, it sounds ominous, which is pretty cool. But if it plays with other monsters, it's kind of taken away, but it is what it is. I can't really do much about it. I'm not going to complain, since I did put it in the B tier in the first place for a reason. Next is Their Mind. So, I guess the game is trying to, make Their Mind different by making him, an effects monster. He's usually, a lead singing monster for Psychic Island, but they made him, an effects monster for Magical Sanctum. That's why he usually only goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, you could have, held notes, too, for Their Mind, since he did that in Psychic Island. Could have been... I know they could have done more for Their Mind. But at least it's, the effects it has done for the song is done well, so might as well let that go. But even if I could change it, which I'm most likely not to, since I don't work for Big Blue Bubble, it could be like this. Like, it would be like this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Or it could be like this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. But come to think about it, I could copy Frondly's part and G'day's part. And man, G'day technically took Frondly's part, which will be next later on. Vermine could have hell notes too, but I do believe that if that were the case, it would just ruin Frondly's part. So I guess I am glad that Vermine is sticking to the whoa, 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 whoa part. That's why it's in B tier. So the effects goes to Vermine. Alright, next is G'day. So the reason why G'day is like below the rest, besides Fruit Fly and Vermine, is because it's kind of a copycat to Frondly. The reason why it's not even lower is because that at least that Frondly plays a different note, right? Frondly means a different note, which is a B, which is so it doesn't play E mainly. It mainly plays a B. But E note, which is basically the main key for Magical Sanctum, like that's just, for Frondly's secondary key, just a chord. But at least G'day mains the E note. Okay. So it copies the castle, and it copies a rhythm of Frondly. And it plays 3 notes. The reason why I say it plays 3 notes is because didgeridoos in Australia usually play 1 or 2 notes. 3 notes seems to be like a task. Like, you need to have like 2 or 3 didgeridoos to actually play different notes. But this is a monster, so what can I say? But I also like G'day, alright? When I first heard that G'day has been released in Magical Sanctum, and he is now available, I looked at his design, and I'm like, he does look like Gajube, which says so in the bio, and it has a tube-like mouth, kind of like a seahorse, and I was hoping it'd play didgeridoo. I'm like, I was hoping it'd play didgeridoo. I'm like, please be a didgeridoo, please be a didgeridoo. If it doesn't play didgeridoo, I don't know what to say about that. I would have been upset, but, or dealt with it like a man. What happened to my laptop? Maybe it died. Maybe it was unplugged. Yep, sure it was unplugged. Alright, I'm gonna plug it back in, so I can continue my discussion. Okay, so okay, alright, we're back. So yeah, I really like G'day. and its design. Okay, so back to the story. So I saw its design and I tried breeding it. And when I finally got G'day, I'm like, please play Didgeridoo. God, just please play the Didgeridoo. You look like a Didgeridoo monster, so please play Didgeridoo. And if he doesn't, I wouldn't be that happy, but I would have gotten over it. And once I got G'day finally, I placed it on the island, and I was waiting. Then when I started playing, and it sounded like a didgeridoo sound. And I'm like, yes, 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 I am so happy that G'day is finally playing a didgeridoo. And also that we finally got a didgeridoo monster, because that we haven't gotten a didgeridoo monster yet until G'day came around. So I was glad that G'day was playing the didgeridoo. But it has done some unrealistic things to it, like having multiple notes, which is E, D, A, E, D, C, D. Which, like, I suppose it is possible with, like, more than one didgeridoo, but just a single didgeridoo, that could be hard, because I have a didgeridoo right here. It's very long and hard. That sounds sus, so the waxy mouthpiece, can't really fully show it, but if I tried playing that track in the secret verse that G'day plays, it would be like this. Because when I try to play it, I can't really play the C note. I could only play like the E and D note, and it takes a lot of air. And yeah, that's why it's in a B tier. At least it's not like in a bad tier, alright? You know? At least that none of the monsters are in a D or F tier, because the D and F tier are the tiers which are the bad tiers. The C's to the A's, or A's to the C's, are the good tiers. Alright, I think I had enough talking about G'day. Now we go to the next monster, Kahoot. Alright, Kahoot is a combination, I believe, of an owl, due to the name and it hoos when it sings, a stingray, and a bat. Bat for darkness, stingray for overall design. It is like a big monster, like big like flute fly. Alright? It sings like this. Hoo, 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 hoo. That's okay. The reason why it is above G'day is because it is a versatile monster. Alright? Kahoot can play with flute fly and play in the secret verse, which it does. That single track is like compatible with the verses, different verses. And it has an eeriness to it, which is cool. And the design is awesome. It's because I do like stingrays, and I love petting them at the aquarium. And it does serve very well for a double elemental with light and psychic. Next is Deja Jin, which is above Kahoot. I really like its raspy voice and how it floats and levitates. Just like Kahoot, it goes well with different verses. It played with Flute Fly, and it also played in the secret verse. It does a good rhythm too. It goes like this. I really like that monster, alright? The rhythm is pretty cool. The way it sings is cool. The animation is cool. I really like its design too. It looks so soft and fluffy. And it is pretty amazingly cool. Next is Larvalus. It plays along with Xeaster. And it does play in chords. Like, if I could, like, change the tier list, which I would, I might change my mind. It kind of, like, blocks the Xeaster track with the single notes. Like, dun, 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 dun. It kind of blocks that, but, like, as you know, that Xeaster has more than one track, so I guess it makes up for it. And plus, it plays an instrument so similar to the koto, which Xeaster plays. I just like to think it plays the goose hang. But I suppose that the reason why that I did put it above Deja Jin is because that it has some nice chords. Someone's trying to call me. How close is that phone? I hope they don't message. Alright. That's good. Alright, so the reason why I put Larvalus above Deja Jin is because at least it plays chords. It's like dun 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 boom boom dun dun boom boom dun dun dun. It has that harmonization to it. So that's why it's above Deja Jin. Next is Masha Boom. Its name is based off of the song Masha Boom, and in the bio it kind of mentions that song which the monster is named, which is a nice touch. Meaning that My Singing Monsters is familiar with that song. I'm not very familiar with it. I heard it, but not fully on, as like I'm invested on that full song completely. So, remember a time where... So, okay, let me say it again. Man, my talking. Alright, I think I can say it clearly now. So, did anyone remember that Masha Boom has like that track 1 error? It only plays its second track and third track. Well, it would have been like maybe A- tier. But the reason why that it isn't is because it has that first track. So, I know that we actually wanted the first track, but when it plays the second track instead, it sounds kind of epic, you know? I know it tries to make it epic with the Their Mind part in Secret Verse, but I think that track would have been done well, too, with the flute fly part. Maybe the reason why it doesn't have that kabang is because it doesn't hit the cymbal during that flute fly part, which is the first track. And I was kind of thinking that could be minimal, but it's in B tier. It's a good monster. I know that, like, the monster is supposed to have, like, more than 2 parts, which is 3 tracks, just to, like, give it that variety, you know? Can't really have the same thing over and over, so I guess I can let that slide. And Masha Boom's design is cool. I kind of slightly do have a problem with, like, monsters that play, like, Asian drum instruments. It's because that, like, we already have Dromedary for that. And then we got Hollow. And then we got Spy Trap, which they could basically play the same instrument, but I just like to imagine they play different types of taiko. But Masha Boom's different, because Masha Boom plays the gong as well. and drums. It plays the drums and the gong. So that's why that Mushaboom is in the highest of B tier. And also why that, like, I really like it. So, yeah. Mushaboom is the highest of B tier in this list. Alright, the next Asian instrument monster, which I actually like, is Knucklehead. And unlike Mushaboom, it only has 2 tracks, and it is done so well. It's like an emphasized monster. It emphasizes Larvalis's track with the boom, boom. And it has its own rhythm with the flute fly part and the Flores beginning part with the boom, 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 boom. That track is actually pretty good. The boom, boom, boom. That track emphasizes. So one track emphasizes the other tracks, while the other track is its own pizzazz. And I even made a Knucklehead action figure, which you could see in one of my YouTube videos, which I probably have on YouTube. And I probably did something weird here. What did I do? I'll figure something out. I'll come back.